Good morning, friends. Now, the reason why you're looking at this basic lighting fixture is because my sister decided to put that on until she found something that she wanted to replace it with. And as I mentioned in the previous video, when we pulled that thing down, we happened up on a big hole, the electrician's boo-boo that was covered up by the big basic lighting fixture. So in this video, I will show you my approach in trying to solve that problem. Okay, so the bright idea was to cover that boo-boo with a ceiling medallion. And so after returning the store-bought medallion that we were not pleased with at all, we set out to the dollar store to search for anything that could make a lovely DIY ceiling medallion. After scouring through the aisles of the dollar store, I came up on these cake plates and I figure, aha, here's what I'm gonna use. But wait, first I had to make sure that the underside of the cake plate was pleasing to look at. So if you're choosing a plate to do a medallion, make sure the underside, which will be seen from below, is actually pleasing to look at. And so I bought the plate. Let's move on. Next up, the Home Depot. I needed paint, and not just any old paint. I needed paint that could be used for plastic, and I found exactly what I needed. Let's show you what. I bought a Rust-Oleum paint, which was great for plastic, and to top it off, it was paint plus primer, which means that I would not need as many cover to get the job done. And so off we went to make that medallion. So just a note here, friends, I actually sprayed my plate before I cut my hole, and in a second I'll show you how I did cut the hole. However, my suggestion to you is to cut your hole before you do your spraying. Okay, so let's move on. The first thing I did was remove the label from the plates and made sure that there was no residue of glue or dust on the plate. Then I got myself a clean piece of cardboard in a well-ventilated area. Also, I would suggest that you wear a mask. Then I put my plate down and I sprayed an even coat on the inside of the plate, allow that to dry, and then sprayed another coat and leave it to dry before, or left it to dry before I flipped the plate to deal with the underside. For the underside, I did a total of 3 even coats, making sure that every nook and cranny was painted, and I left the plate to dry in between coats. You also want to make sure that you do not put your spray can too close to the plate because you don't want the paint to drip or drain. So I mentioned before that I would suggest that you cut your hole before you actually spray your plate. However, if you get overly excited, as I did, to get the project going and spray before you cut your hole, then make sure you allow at least a day overnight for your paint to be firm enough. It won't be totally cure, but it will be firm enough so that the paint does not smudge when you go to cut the hole. But cut it before you paint. Remember, that's the best case scenario. Now let's get on with it already. Let's cut the hole in the plate. Now, it's plastic, and so I didn't want to take the chance of doing something that would break the plate when I went to cut it. So watch and see. This is how I cut the hole in the plate, friends. Just like that, friends, we have ourselves a DIY ceiling medallion. And the best part is, it cost under $5 and we still have lots of paint left in that can to do other projects. Thanks for watching this DIY lesson, friends. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.